And we're live with an update from the energetic storm that is currently taking place in my life. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God. First child of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I post on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. Oh, I got a good short to share with you. I fucking forgot to upload it first. I will upload it after this. It's a good one. And it came at the perfect time. I swear, my spirit guides, bro, I was about to burst. I was already crying so hard. I watched this really great movie with Sandra Bullock. Oh, man. I was crying so hard. It feels so good to cry, like, for a good movie. Then afterwards, oh my God, I felt like I was gonna die, dude. I died. But did you die? Totally killed me. I get on Instagram. I can't even. Seriously, dude. I get on Instagram and my twin flame posted a fucking short of his new song. And I swear to God on everything holy, this dude is wearing a ring. I'm like, God damn it. Are you fucking serious? What did I say? Disregard my previous messages and I unsend the shit out of that motherfucker. I said that 2 days ago. I was like, if he was married, do you think he'd tell me? You could have told me that in the first sentence. You guys. And I'm looking at God. I'm like, I'm cursed in love. I am cursed. And then I started questioning the universe. How does this free will work if I can't freely love who I want to love? And you're forcing me to love people I don't want to love. And I started a huge conversation and my head got heavy and I had to come up here with that conversation. Realistically, how is it free will? I'm going to break the code on this bullshit. Realistically, how are we free to... We are, I suppose, but it's not true. You can't just do as you please. No, you do what God pleases God. And if you do anything else other than that, it comes with all this condemnation. Perhaps from outside if you give a fuck what they're saying, but mostly it's the guilt and shame and regret of your own behaviors. So where's the free will in our ability to do whatever the fuck we want? I don't know. I'm just going back to this. I feel forced. I said it since the beginning. God's love inside of me, he forces me. It's a force I cannot control, and I've tried to. He forces me to love unavailable men. There in itself is like, I'm cursed, right? Like, he wants, and that's what I said earlier. You're pissing me off with this. You're pissing me off with this. You're pissing me off with this. And that's where I am. Now I'm twice as pissed off with this. Realistically, I mean, mostly embarrassed, like always. Like, oh my God, no, you did not do that again. Like, why do they always have to have a wife? Why is this always happening to me? Realistically, and then you can look at the cards and it'll say, well, that says something about you. I'm fucking Lilith. I'm cursed. It has nothing to do with your little magical acts. You didn't make me love these guys. God did. Curse you, God. Realistically, I mean, seriously, though. Oh, I'm going to avoid my Instagram for like ever now. It's like, now I fucked up 2 different pages where I don't open this page because I don't want to see what's in that one. I don't open this page because I don't want to read the message. God damn that. Really? Yeah. What was the big... Why did you do that, God? Realistically, because they push me out of my comfort zone and make me, in the end, it's like it makes me realize what I want and what I don't want. That's what happens all the time. If you look at the bigger picture, really? But at that time, I'm like, I am never doing this again. I can't stand you, God. I give up. I am never going to love another man. I was like, it's not stopping me. And I'm like sitting there having like a conscious conversation with the universe. I was like, you don't need me to be out here loving these men. What the fuck do you need me loving these men for? And then it was like, that was the bigger thing. It's like through them making me go to see him, put me in an environment that I was running from. But then when I got there, I realized that it was just a shadow part of me. And I'm at home in the fucking clubs. It's like, I ain't got no business being in the clubs, and I ain't going back to the clubs, and you can't drag me back into the clubs and fuck a club. And then I get in the club because I go in, you know what I mean? It's like there's a piece of meat and there's something deep and dark in that hole that you want. And I go in there and then I'm stuck in there and I realize it's not that bad and whatever. I'm a hole in the wall. I'm a fly on the fucking wall like everyone else, right? So to speak. Makes me fight my fears is by going through these dudes. Realistically, all the stop signs and blockages. But again, it's not some dude on the other side. It's just me facing my healing and my fears. Oh, that was fantabulous. But it also got me excited again on a different type of man. And it made me realize what type of men make me feel uncomfortable. Make me feel uncomfortable. It's your fucking behaviors. Realistically, and that's just honestly. I learned a lot about myself. I made a new friend, did a lot of stuff. I was pushed into all of that. But realistically, I'm like, well, that was dumb. Really? I mean, why do you make me do that, God? That goes back to Tree. Tree was the beginning. Don't make me talk to this dude, bro. Don't make me. I didn't want to talk to him. My biggest fear is you were going to talk back. And you fucking did, but you said exactly what I needed. Realistically, I mean, if you're paying attention, my biggest fear is that it actually works one of these times. Not this one. Realistically, I mean, do you want to explain the ring on his finger? No explanation. No explanation, dude. Just forget that I ever said anything. I'll see you at the next show. Maybe next time I'll have a date. Jesus. This is pathetic. 2 years later and I'm just... Nah, I think it's funny. Realistically, yeah, where am I supposed to go from here? My head is all heavy. My knees is weak. My head is heavy. I still ain't fucking with Marshall and his fucking mom's spaghetti. Did you save her recipe? You really loved your mom, didn't you? That's lovely. Oh, God. I'm back to the fucking bullshit. Oh, anyways, going back to the twin flames, I was like, I'm done. And here comes Nipsey. He's like, I just never quit. I just ride every emotion, and I just never quit. Bro, shut up, bro. I'm about to quit and fuck these emotions. Realistically, and it's always Nipsey. The marathon continues. If you don't get out my face, bro, I just am glad that I bought myself some Oreos. The next card says a cup of replenishment. I mean, maybe tomorrow. What's in your cup? I was thinking about what I should teach you. There's 5 billion things under the universe I could teach you. What shall we learn today? I mean, really, though. Should I pull out oracles or should I pull out books? I really didn't know. Ew. That's showing me the evangelist book. Come on. That's like the lamest of the new shit we have. We bought so many other cool new things. We got this new book today about Jesus. Realistically, fuck. We've never pulled out this big ass book, dude. It's right up there with the philosophers. Might as well read about some philosophy too. My head hurts. You're drowning me in nonsense at this moment. All right. Let's talk about the great philosophers. Where's Joe Bart for this conversation? He studied philosophy in college. He likes to have these philosophical... He has a degree in it. Jesus. Your parents are probably so pissed. What a wasted degree. You're a fucking billionaire on the internet playing video games. I love you. Going back to this. Where did these come from? God told me to read it to you. What is this? Jesus Christ. Who wrote a book on this? Realistically, they're all so hefty. It looks like, what is this? Christian? What does that word even mean? I'll give you $5 right now if you can pronounce this word properly. Yeah. Anybody that can pronounce that second word. I don't know. Pronounce it.
Evangelism.
What?
Evangelism.
No. Equip. No, this one.
Equippers.
Equippers? Okay. I'm just messing with you. The spirit-led evangelism. What is this? Equippers in the church in an evangelist. Where did this come from? I don't know, God. He just drops shit in my lap. This is so big. I feel like I'm like looking at some magical book that's all big. What is it about? I don't know. Corinthians is what I'm seeing. Okay. Section B is about revivals, signs, and wonders. Wonder why I call you bitch. Just kidding. I can't help myself. I will always say that. 9 similarities and biblical revivals. What's a revival? Oh shit! You really want to know? It's where it's kind of like a coven, to be honest, where a group of people come together and invoke the spirit of God, and it overcomes them. A revival is like an awakening or a spirit of enlightenment. Really? Yeah, it's like next level. A revival would say more than one, definitely. Revivals over the last 250 years. Let's talk about those. B5. Can I get a B5? Who the fucking letters? They're fucking whatever. We're in E15. Let's go back to the D. The B. B7. 5. Oh my God. All right, let's talk about these revivals that have happened. Hey, Jesus, I think they're talking about you, bro. You want to come up here and take fucking center stage? Such a jerk off, aren't I? Christ Almighty, we need you, mighty Christ. You have no respect. I have all respect. Shut up. When you sit with them all day, you don't treat them like that. Realistically, we talk about stuff like underwear and shit. Okay. 1727 was the first Great Awakening. Oh, guess where it happened? In Germany. It's called the Moravians. The place spread to what does it say? Places revival spread to. Great Americas and Britain colony, Great Britain American colonies. It's written weird. Not only do they label it weird, they write it weird. There's a place right here for notes, though. That's helpful. Evangelists who were launched: John Wesley, George Whitefield, Jonathan Edwards. Glimpse of the success of the revival. 50,000 people out of the total population of 250,000 in New England were added to the churches. The next one was in 1792 in Great Britain. It spread to New England and eastern United States. The evangelist was William Carey, Thomas Charles, and George Burden. Hey, do you have any chicks in this dick? Sorry. All right. What was it? A glimpse of the success of the revival. An eyewitness account of the revival. See below. See what below? Then there was one in 1830 in Boston, Massachusetts. All over the U.S., Great Britain, Pacific Islands, India, and South Africa. Charles Finley, what is this one? Ashael Knowlton, and Daniel Baker. One denomination doubled its membership from 580,000 to 1,170,000 in 3 years. Next one. 1858 happened in New York City, all over the U.S., Great Britain, parts of Europe, Australia, South Africa, South India. It was D.L. Moody, William, and Catherine. There we go. There's a chick. He just brought it. I don't know. Booth, Charles Spurgeon, and J. Hudson Taylor. Really? In 1904, in Wales, a revival broke out simultaneously in the second week of November in 1904 in the north and south of Wales. Great Britain, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Germany, Canada. What happened on these accounts? Below, we have given an example of the event which occurred during the 1858 revival. That was in New York City. A schoolboy in a class became so troubled about his soul that the schoolmaster sent him home. An older boy, a Christian, went to him, and before they had gone far, led him to Christ. Returning at once to school, this new converted, testified to his teacher, "Oh, I am so happy. I have the Lord Jesus in my heart." These simple words had an astonishing effect on the boy. After the boy rose silently and left the room, going outside, the teacher found that these boys, all on their knees in a row along the wall of the playground. Very soon their silent prayers became a bitter cry, It was heard by another classroom and pierced their hearts. They fell to their knees and they cried for mercy, and was heard in turn by girls' class above. In a few moments, the whole school was on their knees. Neighbors and passersby came flocking as they crossed the threshold, and all came under the same convictive power. Every room was filled with men, women, and children seeking God, or the second evangelistic awakening. Page 44. Where's that? We're in the B's. Really? That's what happened in New York. You want to keep going into these? These awakenings that come over people in groups? Really? Ooh, creepy, right? Okay, well that was one chapter, one story. Let's see what else we got here. Societal conditions prior to revival. B8. B8. Can I get a B8? I was right on that page. Oftentimes, there has been an unusual low spiritual climate just prior to a revival. 1727, 1792, 1858. The conditions in society, every sixth house became a gin shop. The poor were unspeakably wretched. Over 160 crimes had the death penalty. Gin made people gin and juice. There you go. Hey, dude, I fucking went to war with fucking Marshall over fucking gin and juice campaign. Really? Yeah. Gin made the people that what they were never before, cruel and inhumane. And this is exactly what I went to war with him about. He was supposed to be promoting his new album. He went over to London and he was caught fucking singing at fucking their gin and juice campaign. And I went all crazy on him. It's like, how can you promote the very thing that destroyed our lives? 1727. Hanging was a daily gala event. Those jerking on the ropes were watched and applauded by men, women, and children who crowded the gallows for the best view. Prisoners were unimaginable nightmares, young and old. Hard crook and first offenders were thrown together to fight for survival. Ugh. 1792. Out of 5 million population in the colonies, 300,000 were drunkards, 15,000 dying annually, or in restudy or a revival or something. The U.S. major colleges, Harvard, Princeton, Williams, Dartmouth, were almost totally non-Christian. Christian on campus were so few and so unpopular that they met in secret like communist cells and kept to their minutes in code to avoid mistreatment. Students burned buildings, forcing presidents to resign, destroyed Bibles, and profound public worship. 1830. Societal conditions were not as critical as 1830 as they were in the 1700s. Consequently, the revival did not have the same degree or impact. Goes on and on. How important was prayer in these? Blah, blah, blah. Recent revivals. Okay, let's talk about the recent ones. Latin America, year 1900s. Number 50,000. Goes on to the 70s, where it was 20 million. Africa, Indonesia, South Korea. What is it? A coming to Christ? Really? Yeah. The Holy Spirit. The coming of the baptism of the Holy Spirit, where you give your life to God and his teachings. And that's where they choose where to go with this and stuff, but it happens, it comes over you. And me as a child, really, yeah, I was I don't know. I was put into it. I guess I was put into it but needed it. I can remember specifically something happening, something tragic happening. I don't know. I blacked it all out, but I know I was gone for a couple of days. It was pretty bad. Something happened, bro. It was before I moved to California, so I could have only been like 12 or 13. But something happened where I went over to a neighbor's house and I ended up on drugs over there, and I don't know for how long. But I do know when I came home, my mom packed me up and she moved me over to my Aunt Pat's house. Aunt Pat was heavy into church at that time. And I went full on with them. I don't know how long I stayed with them or any of that, but that was the idea, is that they were going to put me in church. And they did. And I stayed with her. She had a house in Thornton. It was right off of 88th. It's funny because there used to be a killer nightclub over there. No, that's not 88th. That's Washington. used to be a killer nightclub. Now it's just a restaurant. And the neighborhood that used to be there isn't really, or maybe it still is. But I drive down it. But anyway, she had a big house there, and then the house next to her lived my cousin Buster, and he had his you know what I mean, his adopted children or whatever. And that's how I got into the church. So it was young. And I was all about it. When they brought me home, I was reading my Bible. I had a teen Bible, and I was all about that life after that. Really? Yeah, it stuck. It definitely stuck. Even if my mom wasn't in church, I would go to churches. I would find churches. I'd be part of churches. It was something that I did for community for sure. All kinds of churches all over. I remember going to a weird one in Indiana. It was a weird one. It was like a church. It was something like the church for non-believers or something. It was weird as fuck. I've been to some weird ones though. Yeah, they had this one in San Diego. They called it Forced Fellowship, where they made everyone get up and have a drink and say hi to everyone. It's like normally they make you stand up and greet the person to your left or the person to your right. This one had this whole ritual where they made everyone walk around and really shake each other's hands and shit, like meet each other, like face to face. It was kind of intrusive. Been baptized, I don't even know how many times. Really? Yeah. So that's what that is. It's a coming to Christ. I don't understand how they abandoned because I was in Hugo, Oklahoma, and I went to a nail salon, and they were very much, you know what I mean, of a certain ethnicity. And I asked them where their altar was, where their shrine was, and they're like, no, they said that they were Christian somethings. And you could say I mislabeled them, but in the essence, it's like, did you abandon your faith to fit into this town? If you didn't go fit in one of those churches, you weren't gonna stay in that town. I know that from example. Realistically, oh yeah. That's the Bible Belt. They'll beat the shit out of you with one of these Bibles. I'll tell you what, you're gonna get a whooping. Anyway, so that's what that is these are moments of, what is this? The Gospel of Matthew. Charts, personal involvement, seen described, fruits of the Spirit. I think this is more about preaching the bullshit. Really? I think this is like a priest or pastor's, you know what I mean, go to. Because I always wonder, right? They come at you on a Sunday, and I mean, this really gives it away, bro. All right, turn to your Bibles. They have it already. You got to understand, if you're dealing with the church, let me show you. I'll show you. Mr. Plum's church is a great one. I used to keep these because I didn't go to Mr. Plum's church. I didn't want him to get anybody to be offended by me or, pick on him because of my spiritual beliefs. And so he would go, and I'd ask him to bring home the daily flyers. And so when he got there, there was always a printout, and I'd ask him to bring it. This was already printed out before they got there. So today they were going to talk about Isaiah 1:8. They have the instructions, right? So they're trying to get people to stay along with them as they're going through the Bible. They're going to ask them questions. Oh, look at the first sin, Adam and Eve. Yeah, let's talk about them. Why don't we? Let's talk about their fucking kid. Let's talk about all this, right? Realistically, I had to pull this one, didn't I? God starts over. Okay, so look at that, right? And it's like, okay, they were given this to talk about. And so I could take these and I would do my morning teaching. Mr. Plum would come home with this at about 11 or 1, and I would show everyone that this is what I learned through the cards, not through the Bible, because we didn't start pulling out my Bible till much later. Really? We're barely talking about right here exactly where we're at is Matthew. Now look at this. This is a fucking, if I ever saw one, you cheat motherfuckers. 11:7 through 11:19. It tells you what you're supposed to be talking about and the scene you're supposed to be describing to people. You know what I mean? What they're supposed to be getting out of it. These are all the fruits of the Spirit. Love, long-suffering, faithfulness, kindness, peace. Yep, all of that. And that's how you're teaching them. You're teaching them by portions. And this is a cheat sheet, if you ask me. They weren't guided to it like I do. They weren't just guided in there to take the words out of context. Instead, they do it like this. Really? I think so. What do you think? Oops, sorry. Damn, Becky. It's because this big ass book, bro. This book is ginormous. Really? I can knock you out with it. Instead, I knocked the camera and the whole altar apart. Confirmation. I know. I'm messing with the cord. Give me a minute. Are you going to stop doing that? Thank you. So that's what this is. I'm looking. And then it's just lots of keywords of what? To priest or pasture, I guess. Introduction to the four Gospels and the books of Acts chart. Right? So I keep seeing the fruits of the Spirit. Now, the gifts of the Spirit are extremely important because it's different. So what I have is, according to the Mormon church, I have the prophetic gifts given by God. All right. According to science, they would say that I have the six senses. According to Hindu, they would say I'm fully enlightened. According to your understanding, I do witchcraft or I have magical fucking powers. Whatever it is, right? Gifts of the Spirit. This column lists the gifts of the Spirit that were used in the main characters described in the passage. In cases where gifts of the Spirit were implied in the passage, we have placed an I after the particular gift. All right, see what I mean? They're teaching you how to read this shit so that you can use this as a go-to instead of just going to your fucking Bible and knowing what it really means. This is how they get it. Really? Because it is. Jesus, the devil. Let's talk about the devil. What is this? Jesus is tempted 3 times by the devil without sinning. What does that mean? That just means the darkness is always going to make you, is going to always try to get you to get away from God's calling in your life. And that's what you call is the devil, but it's not a specific entity. And that's like you trying to put God as an entity and saying Jesus is God. Are you talking about Lord Christ, Lord Buddha, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva? He's a Lord. He's not the God. He's a God amongst gods, created by the one true God. People have this weird perception that there was no God before Jesus and that Jesus was God. And that's what caused all of these religious wars, because there was all different types of praising God before Jesus. And when Jesus came, he was the most powerful God, that they had seen. They prayed to all the different gods, but Jesus gave them powers that they had never seen before. And so they had to harness this God and make it their own so they could have this power. Realistically, yeah. And that's what people seek in Jesus, is power. It's like that's the same thing they go to witchcraft for. They seek power over another. Realistically, yeah, Jesus was giving out power, bro. He was giving out an ability to connect with the unseen, something they could not do. They could not hear the voice of God. And it was too many accounts. There was too many accounts of it. And that's what all of this is. That's what the whole Bible is. It's an eyewitness account. Everybody saw it. That's all that Bible is, from the beginning to the end, is stories of God's miracles and wonders. So don't say it. I'm gonna put this away for right now because now I realized what's in that bullshit. Yeah, I never opened it to see what it is. And that's what it is. They study that to know how to present the proper word, and they all deliver the same thing. And that's that, orthodox delivery. Here's that, you know what I mean? Typical delivery. And it has to follow the same guidelines. And don't forget to bow your heads at the end and, something. And if you want to come, all that bullshit. Realistically. But before Jesus, people had already had their gods that they prayed to. And without fully eliminating their gods, as that person said in my comments earlier, it's a misinterpretation of other religions. No, it's a mixture of other religions. The whole fucking Bible is based on the fucking pagan calendar, pagan religions, and that's Wiccan, bro. Wiccan. It's wicked. Wiccan. Really? Yes, Christmas is only there because of Yule tide season. Look it up. Jesus was not born in no fucking December, bro. No, it didn't happen. Why does Easter always move? Easter is always the Sunday after the full moon of the spring equinox. It's based on a moon cycle. Everything is. That's pagan, bro. That's beyond Christ. That's not in their Bibles. They don't even tell you that. Down to the fucking juice and cracker, bro. That is a Wiccan religious fucking ritual. The cathedrals and all that, they're burning the same holy herbs that I'm burning. They're Wiccan, bro. But they want you to believe that that's how they, and that's how they get people in. Oh, well, that's how we pray. It's grooming, bro. It's grooming to leave your beliefs for the belief in Christ. Now, all right, are you going to be condemned by leaving and, searching more God? I had this conversation with Mr. Plum. If you're in your church and some of the shit they're saying doesn't really satisfy, or you feel like they're, you feel like they're just being not so church-like, and you consider going to another church, are you cheating on God? If you decide this church, something about this church, the members, the words, whatever, they ain't got air conditioning, or they don't like music, or whatever the case may be, you don't feel like this church is for you. When you go to another church, whether it's another religion, so meaning you were at a Baptist church and all of a sudden you're going to go try a Lutheran or a Pentecostal or a Catholic or a Mormon church, all of those churches that I just listed above teach Jesus Christ. So are you cheating on Jesus Christ if you go to another church that teaches a different way of Christ? Something to believe in. Now, let's get past Christ. Are we cheating on Christ if we were ever allowed to go into a synagogue? I'm not Catholic, but as a Christian, am I cheating trying to sit amongst the Catholics? Am I a fake Catholic? Am I a non-believer of Christ because I sit amongst the Catholics? Okay. Now, if I go to learn the teachings of Buddha, who teaches self-discipline and enlightenment, am I cheating on Christ? Have I left my honor to what Christ taught me? Or am I learning more godly ways to live? Is there something evil in the book of Buddha, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Quran, in any of these holy books that I have, the essential Kabbalah? Is there something evil in there? Or do they speak of avoiding evil and temptation? I want you to understand that. You're not cheating on God. They just want to make you feel like you can't leave or you can't access God other ways. Now, when you get to that door of the other side of God, will they allow you to praise their God is a whole nother question. And that's someone like me. I just want to learn God. I come from many teachings of God, and I practice all forms of God, but I'm not allowed in your doors because I don't stick to just your practices. Because I practice all different practices, I'm not allowed to come in your doors. That's very ungodly of you. Realistically, yeah, it is. The church is supposed to open their doors, and they close their doors to something that looks like me, which is a witch. Why wouldn't you want a witch to know about Jesus Christ? Why do you fear the person that stands before you if you're a man of faith and this is the home of the Lord that's protected by the blood of Christ? Why fear a person who has no power above your God? Or do you believe that I do? And why would I come into your door? Do I come into your door to harm you? Is that your Christian teachings that I've come to the house of God to hurt, to harm another? And that's where it is. They're paranoid, and they're, who's this and what's she doing here and why does she got to be here? And I cannot come in to accept the word of God. That's all I've come for. That's all you have inside these doors, despite whatever you're putting in those buckets. I've come for nothing more than the word. Realistically, yeah, that's what I was talking about. So you go back to Jesus, all the people that were denied entry to the word, he went and gave the word to them, and the word was good. And that message changed lives. They didn't believe him. Let's go back to the beginning, you guys. Jesus was a fucking Jew. His own people didn't believe him, that studied the Messiah since the beginning, didn't believe he was. Then I sit here as the Lilith. I'm like, you never even, what? And you don't know? And you believe it's Lucifer? You guys are delusional. How'd you get this story so fucked up? Oh, somebody told you some shit, huh? Okay. And you believe that shit? You believe there's some power outside of God that's here to harm you or that's here to tempt you? Oh, well, that's always been the case, don't you think? Is it me? Not in this life. But I'm down with the temptation and all of that. Realistically, why? Because we're all tempted. We're all tempted to walk away from God and just give in and just be a fucking horrendous fucking person and do whatever we fucking please. I'm not mad at Bobby for being selfish. He's got to care about himself. You know why? Because nobody else fucking does. He's got to be self-preservant. He's got to think about his own desires and his own wants and protect himself because nobody else is caring about him and trying to protect him. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Realistically, I mean, going back to it, and that goes back to, God said that you loved him enough that you wouldn't give in to such things. So much that he'll put the very thing that he swears you won't touch and sit and tell you not to touch it. This is good. I want to watch this, but God, let me see this. The tempting. And who's that? Well, I mean, when I wasn't sitting here in the fucking flesh, I had fun times doing all of that greatness. Now I'm over here being tempted like a motherfucker myself. Realistically, not realistically. Why? Because my faith and love is stronger. And that goes back to free will. How can I give in if I know I can't give in? I mean, I could give in, but when you know the consequence and the feeling that comes with the terror that comes with just giving into your flesh, then where's the free will to get to live freely as I please? No, I live as you please, and that's freeing for me. Realistically, yeah, it's tempting. Trust me. It's tempting to give into your anger, into your lust, into your greed, into your wrath, into your sloth, into your envy, into your vanity. It's very tempting, and we give into them all throughout the day. Is there some devil that's doing it, or is it just simply our flesh, and we haven't got a hold of this shit yet? There's something more powerful than God? What? Our flesh? Or is it really just our minds that we can't control, and neither can He? He can't make us better. He can't make us see as many times as He shows us. And that's why He's so forgiving. Because I guess after, for all those years before Christ, He was like, they're never going to get this. I need to change the rules. I need to do something. I'm tired of killing these things. They got to figure out something. He had to come up with a new game, a new plan, because this was not working. And that's exactly where we're at right now. And that's where I turn to, is the new beginning. Really? Yeah, we got to do something. This is stupid. It's not working. They're not learning from their mistakes. Can everybody say that's truthful at this time in our lives? I mean, seriously, how many times do we got to do this? And that goes back to me. What the fuck? Was that another dude with a chick that you had me go holler at? I can't stand you, God. I mean, he cursed me in the very beginning because of Adam. I mean, seriously though, how long is this until this curse wears off? Restitution and service and all. Realistically, I mean, he's going to make me pay for this, don't you think? I think he's making me pay quite well. What's he making you pay for? I don't know. Pay the piper. Where are we at now, God? I put away the philosophers. Who cares about what they think? Them and their great ideas, right? You gave them a great mind, and now look at where it is. We're wasted minds and time. We can talk about your psychic abilities or lack of. Shall we do that? Black arts. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of looking through all of this. Like, I don't really care what we talk about. Not really. Is there something I need to know? Is it a need to know? Let's get an oracle. That's what he said. I just saw those oracles. Not the long ones. Those ones irritate me. I guess they all take a long time when I start talking. Really? Yeah. What do we talk about? God's revival, the push of Christianity, the words of Christ versus living by Christ. That early book is going to describe, just as Mary Magdalene, is that they grew up with a rich childhood filled with all kinds of spirituality. Really? They traveled. Mary couldn't stay still, not for a while, because she was being hunted, bro. She was super being hunted. They don't tell you all those stories, but Mary was still being hunted. They didn't find the child. They weren't giving up. And that's back to Egyptian time. They were going to kill every fucking child till they found that chosen one. Realistically? What was a chosen child? The ability to be connected with the God. Having these abilities, which is the gifts of the spirit, is the highest level. You know, there's orthodox freaking religions that don't access any of the gifts of the Holy Spirit as we do. And it's given to, as they said, the meek shall inherit the earth, because they were given just the littlest bit of power, and they used it as persecution towards others. So in no way could someone be given true power if all they're going to do is execute it in such a way. So like even me, I can't use my power for anything else but healing. My ability to read in is to guide people from the darkness. I can't stop it. I can only tell you what's coming and prepare you for it. And that's my ability, is to keep you protected in the word of God and what God's doing, give you that extra knowing. But I can't use it for any kind of personal gain. And that's what people think. If I had her abilities, I could make myself all great and wonderful. It's not what it's for. It's to make the world great and wonderful. It's not about my own, you know what I mean? My own, I guess, because at the end, that's all I truly want. And that's what I said in my earlier video. Don't you just want a better world to wake up to in the morning? Yeah, I'm almost done. 41 minutes. Yeah, I'm almost done. Why is it? I mean, when I first started, I understood that I sounded crazy, that I thought I could change the world just one person. But as I went through, I saw how many one single person made such a huge impact in time. And those very people were the ones that came to me and taught me how to make such a huge impact in time. So to believe that one person can change the world is all it took. Going back to Joan of Arc and Benjamin motherfucking Franklin, Albert fucking Einstein, Tupac Shakur, you know what I mean? Fucking all of them. Kobe Bryant, they changed the world. They were one person that changed many. And that's what it was really about. As far as spreading the churches, you know, as soon as you get into a church, they want to get you into some kind of community in it. So if you're like a teen, they want to get you in the teen groups. If you're an adult, they want you in either the singles groups, you know, the men's or the females. They want you in some kind of outreaching. They want you to be part of the community, which in essence is outreaching and stuff and bringing more people into the church. But they're not bringing them for the sake of saving souls. They're bringing them for the expansion. Same thing as you. You're trying to grow your page, right? You're trying to grow your individual, you know, profiles and shit like that, wherever that may be, your resume, your 401k, you're trying to grow it. It's not about it's more about volume rather than quantity or quality, is how they look at it. The church doesn't look at their members when they become those mega churches like they have to, and they have to keep all of these different operations running. They're looking at them as numbers. How many people sat, stuff like that. They're looking at people as numbers and not as souls. They're not trying to save souls. They're trying to fill seats. Really? With a good message of God, and it's a good message, and everybody needs to hear it. And people will pay, you know, to hear that message, but this isn't what it's doing. Not what it was intended, not a real revival. But people will go and they'll feel that high of the Holy Spirit about being, you'll get in that room, bro, a good church, and they'll start singing and you'll feel the Holy Spirit. I teach you how to do that on a Sunday morning all by yourself. Put on the headphones. I start blasting the music too, and we just start praising God for the beautiful day and for what he's done for us and what he's going to. And we sit there and we receive his message, bro. I bring them to you in the cards, but that's really what it's about. And nobody told you to put $1 in the bucket or anything. And nobody, you know, on a specific Sunday, we're not going to try to really guilt you. And I never really try to guilt you. It's more like we spend a lot of time becoming aware of, you know, who we are and how we could be better. not so much like how we fall short of God's glory, but how we're going to rise to his occasion. How we can be better than those before us. What do we got? Treasure Island. All that shuffling for Treasure Island. Well, okay. Overall, it's a good day. I wasn't surprised when I realized it was Wednesday and I was dealing with such shadows. I had a lot of shadow work earlier, and then to follow it up, it felt good to just watch a good movie and cry. Oh, I cried so hard. What was it about? I don't know. She went to jail. I don't remember what it was called. It was a really good movie with Sandra Bullock, though. She, she was raising her kid sister, and something happened, and she went to jail for shooting the sheriff, and she got out, and all she wanted to do was, connect with her kid sister. I don't want to ruin the story for you, but it was a really good movie. And sometimes, those wholesome movies, you can just cry through, the story, a good story. Really? Yeah. But otherwise, let's move on. Tomorrow's another day filled with excitement. I'm going to go close the deal on my new apartment and walk through it, and that's really exciting. And that's going to bring up a bunch of stuff. Probably going to do a bunch of paperwork. I don't know why that's doing it. It's fucking with me. I went to time for a nap. That's really what I need all the time. What number is that? Number 9. Treasure Island. The law of attraction brings dreams into fruition, the result of positive thinking made manifest. Abundance appears as if from nowhere, financial gains and sharing of good fortune. When you don't think that things aren't going to be okay, then things are okay. And we think about how great things are going to be, the better they become. And you use that not based on what you have, but on the belief of what God can do. You can't fully fake this, but you start the process of believing. You can't just fake money into your pocket by saying positive affirmations. You have to understand you have to put your heart into what you're saying. You have to put action and you have to put, you have to believe in what you're saying. Really? Yeah. But it just takes a mustard seed of belief, of faith. You know what I mean? You don't test God. You don't test it like, okay, if I do this, God's going to make this work. That's not how that works. Mm-mm. It's when things, you know what I mean? You're not sure how things are going to go and you're leaning on God. And when you lean on Him, you ask Him and He'll tell you. You know a no. And if you don't want to accept a no and you want to keep going, you're going to end up in tears afterwards. Man or woman, you're going to be hurt by this because you know He told you no. For all obvious reasons, everything kept closing on you and you just kept pushing forward. That goes back to someone like Russ or Lewis. I think Russ finally accepted his no. Lewis has not. Lewis does not accept it. If he sat there and he prayed to God and said, God, are you going to give me this 8-time world championship? He would know that God said no. It's not about how hard you work, Lewis. I said no. You can't have this. And that goes back to me and the men I love, Lewis. It doesn't matter what I do. He said no. I can't have this one. It's a no. It hurts. And you can keep trying, but it's a fucking no. But when it's a yes, it's a definite yes. And it's usually a yes and a wait. He didn't tell you to wait. He told you no. Really? Yeah. So, the law of attraction, what it is, why things are manifesting so easy for me is I'm attracting the very thing that God wants in my life. And I don't have many blockages for it. I'm not just attracting anything. I'm attracting only what God wants because I'm only putting my focus on the visions of that God has given me. So it easily manifests. It's like everything you want, you get. No, I don't want anything until God makes me want something. And then He makes me work real hard at that want. And then it becomes. I didn't want a computer and I didn't want to work from home. That was never my want. He made me want it. He kept showing me this was what I wanted and this was what would be good for me. So I did it, and it worked. I didn't want to work at Target, but he showed me that I wanted this and that this would be good for me. So I did it. I did want to ring the bell. I thought that was a cool idea when I manifested that one. Really? Yeah, I wanted to do that. Why? Because I thought it was when I made that video, I really said it from my heart. I was like, I just want to be out there and just be left alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And that's how I got those 2 jobs. Those jobs were leave me alone jobs. Really? That's all I wanted. I wanted some money and I wanted to be left alone. I don't want. I really don't. I didn't, you know what I mean? He had to make me want to go to this show. I didn't want to go to the show. And he gave me everything to do it. And even then, it's like I had to push myself to do it. I wasn't ready to move into that apartment. I didn't want to, but I did it. I put on the application. So it's like, it's not like I'm getting everything I want. I'm getting the things that God wants for me. It's a very different game. Very different. Okay? Okay. Oracle message. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You've uncovered a map to buried treasure and tapped into unlimited potential within you. And that's really what it is ask and it shall be given. I've learned that all of my wants and my needs are met through him. So I don't even have to, like, what I know inside is what produces on my outside. I don't have to work on my outside. It all comes from inside. Really? What you must hone on now is your ability to recognize that X marks the spot. Because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all along hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. Told you. All of that hard work, you know what I mean, navigating my inner life. I spent 3 years working on that. Now it's paying off externally. Why? Because I'm not fighting it. I'm not trying to do it my way. I'm not trying to have a better plan than God. I'm not trying to figure it out by myself. I'm waiting until he shows me the pieces and I work by that. That's the difference. What's the ultimate difference? Waiting on God to show you what to do with yourself. You don't just do nothing. You know what I mean? But you have to, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's terrible to me. It was terrible, right? But that's where it's paying off. Yeah? Yeah. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure multiplies like magic. Realistically. I mean, and I don't typically have much. Like, I didn't buy tickets to the show. It was really funny when I told him. I was like, +1, but it's not a dude. That would be weird. And I started laughing about it. I was like, how fucking ghetto would that be if I asked you to put me and my dude on a list? I was like, my dude should be buying tickets. If I have a dude, I should not be asking you to put me on a list. Realistically, yeah. And that's really what it is. I didn't need somebody to go with me. I didn't ask him to put one before. Not never. It was never me +1. Not usually. It's always just me. So shit like that. I mean, I try to, and that's what happened with B. I tried to give her, you know what I mean, the information to share, what I got, what worked for me. Maybe it'll work for her if she does the work. Realistically, I don't know. Relationship message. Your relationship is a treasure, providing even more than you need. But you may not see that right now. No matter how long you've been together, you and your partner are always discovering hidden gems about yourselves and each other. I'm just discovering myself. Are you discovering me? I mean, you're a discovery zone on your own, but who are we talking about right now? I'm not. I like how my daughter puts it. I'm in an invisible relationship with a lot of men. My imaginary boyfriends. I'm okay with that. I deal with that. Realistically, yeah, it's all in my mind, right? It's in my heart. Ugh, I can't get them out of my mind. They're that ringing in my head. Some of them. Now is the time of discovery. It is if everything is in sync and everything is new again. Who are we talking about? I feel like it just blew my face off with this. I'm, I'm completely going blank right here. Romance blooms and love is in the air. You can be assured that this partnership will bring you great gifts and valuable lessons. Well, maybe there was someone standing behind the guy with the ring on his hand. Keep your heart open. The message of this card is to celebrate love and what it teaches you. That's what I said. If it's not him, then it's just another hard lesson, and I'm getting closer. To what? I mean, success in some sense. Success. That was a good one. That was a good one. Success. Prosperity message. At this time, you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and you are in true manifestation period when you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity you planted in the past. I feel like my fucking taxes is about to pop. Why did I go chasing him if I didn't? I feel like I need to go check my mail. I mean, I already fixed the Colorado one. I probably got like fucking $1,000 sitting there. I don't really need the money, but I think that's what they're talking about. Really? Yeah. I have money sitting around. Money doesn't solve my problems. I said that since the beginning. You could have brought me $5 million in the beginning. It was not going to make me any better. It wasn't going to make me happy. Yeah, it could have helped some of the outside world, but that wasn't the problem. I gave up the outside world because I couldn't take care of it. Last thing I needed was something to take care of. You couldn't even have gave me a plant at that time. Realistically, money is not the answer, bro. And again, I told you I didn't need a job to get a house, and I didn't need money to do any of this. I showed you that. Really? I mean, it's not just because of my situation, but it was because of the situation that God told me to walk my bitch ass into. And that's okay. I'm not mad at it. Realistically, at least I didn't have to do it all on my own. And that's what I was like, I thought I gave it all up and would have to build it all back all by myself, even though he told me I wouldn't. The whole point was I didn't have to do this by myself. And yet I kept doing it. And I was very angry. If I do this all by myself, realistically, I can't say I did any of this by myself. God did it all. And that's where it all comes out. Oh, congratulations on your job. It wasn't me. That's all I do all day is tell him it wasn't me. Really? Yeah, that's all they say all the time. Congratulations on your house. It wasn't me. Congratulations on it wasn't me. I just do what God says. It's all God, bro. Why didn't you just see that? I'm just his house bitch. He made me a house bitch at that. I don't even leave the house anymore. Sometimes to spiritual stores and shit. Fucking get tools. Made me such a house bitch. Realistically, yep. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. I know, bro. I'm telling you, it's destined. This fucking documentary is gonna blow up. The fucking soundtrack itself is gonna blow up. It's gonna get me a Grammy. After that, we'll be on all of the platforms, and then I'll be building little fucking kingdoms of God all over the place. Really? Digging in the dirt. Really? Little tiny homes. I have the blueprint. It's going to be great. Seriously, can't wait. Lots of stuff. It starts with watching those videos, crying about my poor life and watching it fall apart again. I didn't watch it fall apart, it just fell apart. I just destroyed it. Now I got to watch the destruction. Oh, it's so sad. I got to relive all that. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as aspiration strikes. Share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. Protective message. Poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Bro, do you know how many fucking people moved to California with not enough money in their pocket and nothing more than a dream? Do you know how many people left their countries with no money in their pocket and came to America with nothing but a dream? I have a dream. As long as that dream was given to you by God and you're not just fucking absolutely delusional and cuckoo for the Cocoa Puffs, work hard at it and your dreams will come true. But it doesn't matter. You can't buy your dreams. No amount of money is going to buy your dreams for you. It only comes with hard work and the lessons that come. And that's where the respect comes, the grind, the hustle. They will respect you more when you've earned it properly. When you just put out a song on TikTok and now you're winning fucking stages, everybody wants to fucking punch you in the face because you don't have any idea what it takes to be an artist. You just got lucky. Realistically, yeah, let's see you hold that up, lucky dick. Realistically, and there's a bunch of them bastards. But that's what it means is it's the hard work that goes into your dreams. And you don't have to have it together to start your dream. Your dream, you start with nothing in your pocket. It's called a starving artist. You have a vision. Going back to Benjamin motherfucking Franklin. What the fuck was he even going to use to catch a fucking lightning bolt? Was he like running around in a truck? Like, how did he catch him? Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of biblical or there's some kind of statement that says how he did this shit. But going back to it, he just had an idea. He didn't know how he was going to do it, but he was going to do it. Go back to fucking Joan of Arc. Angels came to her and told her she was going to stop that war. She was 13. She was like 13 years old. Nobody believed this psychotic girl in fucking, you know what I mean? That she was going to stop the fucking French war. Are you fucking serious? She shaved her head and did the thing. Doesn't matter what they believe, as long as you believe in it and you don't give up. And that's exactly what Nipsey came by and said. He's like, I just didn't give up. I just didn't give up. That's not how it works when God's, you know what I mean? There's no glory in what you're doing, Lewis Hamilton. Your dream was to be a Formula One fucking champion. It was not to be 8 times, it was to be 1 time. You got 6 more than the one you asked for. Go back to that little boy in that interview. He didn't ask for 8, he asked for 1. God gave you so many more than 1, and you're ungrateful. He should have just kept it at 1, and maybe you would have been grateful for the rest of your life. Or maybe you just would have been ungrateful the rest of your life. Because it seems like the more you got, the more you wanted. A sense of not enough casts a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that other people will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in the fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunity to expand? That's taking the risk. I worked so hard for my life. You could say I was ungrateful about it. Everything I really appreciated it after it was gone, and I really appreciated myself and how hard I worked for each piece of my furniture, to pay the rent every month, to look the way that we did, to have the things that we did. I worked so hard. I came from nothing, and I did that all by myself, and I was really grateful. I was really proud of what I had done, but not it didn't bring me any happiness. It took 10 years to build that apartment up, to 8 years, something like that, something crazy like that. If you take the whole time of me setting myself back together, only to turn around in 2 years and completely destroy my life, even my credit score. It's so sad. I worked so hard to build myself up to something glorious that everybody admired. And I really looked like I had it together, bro. But what God has built me up to be is far more glorious than anything I would have built myself up to be. And because it's true, and it's kind, and it's compassionate, and it's loving. I was cold and distant and hateful and a little bit hurtful if you crossed me the wrong way. I was isolated and completely disconnected from all sense of reality. I lived in my own little fucking world of progression and succession. And everything that I accomplished throughout the day made me feel more powerful because I had done that. It was very difficult not to have that sense of pride. I fought with God about that. I need this in my life. I need this sense of achievement to make myself feel good about myself. I needed that. I lived off of that. My sense of achievement that I had done things, so many things that I had done. Not to blurt to anyone else, but I needed that to feel good about myself to sleep at night. And even then, I never felt like I did enough. And there was so much more that I could have done. It's hard to fight that mentality. And that's what they call a chaser mentality, a masculine. I have to do this. And I had a true belief, and I have every reason to support that belief, that if I didn't do this, nobody was going to do this for us, and we would fail. My family would fail if I failed, and I couldn't let my family fail. And I owed it to them to do better than I ever did before, because I had already failed my other children. I couldn't fail these ones. I can't say that I felt like a failure after I gave everything up, because that's not what I felt like. But it was devastating. I didn't realize what I had achieved until after I'd given it up. I could mentally look back at my house and see my furniture and how hard I worked for everything. I could see the life I lived inside that apartment for all those years, and how I built it from one piece at a time. All the different jobs it took me, all the sleepless nights. But none of it brought me happiness. And I thought that my kids were happy there, but after we left and the truth comes out, they hated it just as much as me. I built a prison of our own keeping, and that I was proud of. And wasn't even aware of it until I was thrown out of, asked to jump out of the fucking nest. I mean, granted, yeah, they kicked me out, but I had made a conscious decision to allow this to happen, and I had the resources not to let it happen. I was very resourceful. I could have called and gotten immediate aid that would have came in. I could have done many things to keep a job, to get a job, to keep the bills up. I was called to stop working, let everything crumble. And I knew it was going to. And you could say, why didn't I prepare for it? From day to day, I was still focusing on God. At no point did he tell me to pack my fucking bags. And that's how much focus I put on God. But he packed them for me. Believe it or not, I got to Oklahoma with nothing but a bunch of trash bags of my leftover life, and it was everything I needed to keep going. The very shit that you see before you that we live off of. Plus some more shit, but keep in mind, when I moved in here, all I had was what fit in my car. I accumulated more, but that's all we left my old life with. And along the way, he made me get rid of more and more of it. Really? Yeah. My blankets and pillows, just little things, to where there was no more of my life. I have like one or two things, but it's gone. And I worked hard to have that life. And I'm not mad that I gave it up, because I gave it up for an absolute brand new life. I'm getting everything he said, but it did take time. And all that took time was to deal with my inner self. It was never that I couldn't get a job, that I couldn't pay bills, that I couldn't do that. The reason those things were no longer important is because of what was going on inside. My whole life, all that mattered was my outside world, and I turned off my inside world. And when the awakening happened, I couldn't focus on my outside world, because my inside world became all that mattered. And so I had to trust God to take care of my outside world while I did all this work. And it worked. And he told me to do the same, and I tell people to do the same. Dude, take care of yourself, and he'll take care of it. It's his world. He'll make sure things go on. I mean, he's not going to put you in a position probably like me, unless he's telling you to leave that position, which he probably is. He wants you to experience a new home in a new neighborhood. He wants you to have new adventures. He wants you to go on road trips. He wants you to discover, fight fears and spend nights under the stars praying and talking to him. He wants all those things for everyone. We had never done such things. I went places I never went, did things I never did. I showered in I showered in the middle of the day in the streams. You ever done something like that? Crazy stuff, dude. I washed my clothes in the freaking in the streams and stuff. I did things that ancient people did and stuff. Not homeless, but I guess perhaps. But at that time, it was adventurous. Next to my tent, you know what I mean, and cool stuff like that. We ate outside. I constantly just prayed to God, and asked him for guidance. And, and when I wasn't talking, I listened to myself. I listened to how I thought and felt. Every terrible thought and feeling I had about my life and what had come over it would come up in those quiet places. And so I would just sit there and deal with my terrible life that I'd never dealt with before. That's what freed me from not repeating to live that terrible life, because I'd only known that life. I only knew how to live one type of way, which was survival mode. And so it was useful to use that survival mode out in the woods and shit like that. But during that, learning a different way of living. And that's through faith in God and the abundance of the universe, as they always say. But a lot of it comes from the teachings of Christ, because even if I couldn't see God in the universe, you know what I mean? Everybody knows that those words were real. That's where, I didn't know all of the spirit guides. They came in later, where I understood how I'd been working with them for so long. But, Christ was always there, because it was his teachings that were the first teachings in my heart that kept me, understanding the gifts of the spirit, which are, or, the fruits of the spirit, which is faith, love, joy, peace, patience, long suffering, happiness, kindness, gentleness. I'd learned those were just inscribed on top of my, my heart. And it really is. It's just an inner thing that happens. Nobody's outside. It's the voice of God is inside of you, along with your higher self, your inner child, and all of the spirits that ever were. Really, the inner child comes from a lot from the mind and stuff like that, but all of the rest of it's from the heart. So during these revivals, and what happens when people's heart, gets activated, all of that, you're in touch with yourself again, and you're in touch with God, and you're in touch with a lot more. And when this happens, you kind of get out of touch with the reality, and that's really what they call it. I found it very hurtful, when Wolfman said that shit about, if you want to just give up your whole life and live in rags and go live at a temple in the woods, be my guest. I felt like he was mocking me, and it's like, I've done what no other person had done, and you're mocking me. But at the same time, I had Buddha over there, you know what I mean? Initiating me into the homeless brotherhood, and teaching me that I had opened the doors into that next level just by my sacrifices of this life. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll be in the temple with Buddha while you're over there, trying to work out your life and do love readings. Realistically, I mean, we all have our way of life. I'm just trying to show you that a different way that God showed me, and that it works. And that's where it's like, I have the footage, I have the proof that it works. It's not, they were waiting for it to see it work. They wanted to see this. Where's your God? The naysayers. Where's your God? You gave up everything for a fake God. This is all fake. Is he though? Is he though? All right. Let's see. You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitation to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Leaving my house was nothing more than a prison of my own making. What did I lose? Nothing. I really didn't. All of that was replaceable. There was nothing in that house. There's nothing that I lost that wasn't replaceable, that God's not going to put in my new house. Some furniture? What is it? What is he going to put in there? He's going to put hope, something I didn't have in my last house. He's going to put happiness. He's going to put faith. I can create new memories. I won't walk in the door with old memories and old pains. You know what I mean? He's going to, that's just it. For you, I don't know. Open the door to find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. I told you I was fearful about getting a computer, because I'm like, I don't even know if I even qualify for a job. How am I even going to get a job on a computer? And here comes Morgan. Hey, bro, I got us a job, paid training. Do I even need the computer skills class for the paid training? I just believe in God. I too don't understand how this will work, but I believe that, if you brought this to me, I can do this. I guess. I guess we can do this. And that's just kind of it. And why'd he do that? Because he wanted me to stay at home, really. Is there any surprise to that? And as far as the computer, I told you that he's going to use that to make me start doing all this documentary work, which I needed. I needed to do it all. I mean, I probably could have figured it out on my phone, don't you think? Do everything on this little mini computer of mine. Um, the treasure is inside, not outside, and you have to dig. They call it in alchemy. They call it the soul's gold, or the philosopher's stone, which is your soul's true essence. Once you, like me, once you have your soul guiding you, your mind can't stop you and nobody else can. They don't get in your way. Don't get me wrong, you can hear your thoughts and you can hear the naysayers, but your heart is stronger than their words. Sticks and stones. Realistically, yeah, nothing's really going to stop you when your heart is all in it. And that's important right now because again, we're moving towards this new moon where they're going to give you new inspiration, a grand idea for your life, and we're doing a lot of mental preparation for you to receive this vision. When God gave me my first vision, he gave it all to me at once, and it was too much to digest. It took me 3 days to put it into words, and I made a simple video about it, how I knew I was called to do something of Jesus's work. And I'm sitting there and I'm very confused. I know I'm like, first off, I'm not Jewish and I'm not a man, so how am I supposed to make an impact on religion and spirituality? He didn't show me all of it. It was just a glimpse. And it was too much to actually put into words. I couldn't actually put it into words. But can I tell you something scary? He didn't just give that vision to me. I think he gave that vision to someone else, that other people saw that vision on my life before I did. This is a true story. One day, Tree, who's another one of my twin flames, we're arguing about something. And he raises his voice at me and he says, "You don't know how important you are. You're going to help, you're going to heal the world." What was the context of what we were talking about? I don't know. I don't know. But he had said that in the beginning. He came to me in the beginning when I was having the hardest time of my awakening. And I asked him to meet me on Red Rocks, or I asked him if he wanted to go do a hike with me on Red Rocks, and he met me there. And he comes and he says, "I don't know where we're going to go with this healing, but your soul was crying out for help." He was spiritual. And at that point, I didn't even question it because I was literally dying within my skin and I needed anybody at that time. And he heard it. And he gave me some great words of advice, and that was kind of it. Until what? Honestly, as I'm going to tell the story, till he fell in love. And that's when I saw it, and that's when things got weird. Everything was okay until it wasn't. And that's what happened. Really? Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you can go back to the song too. That was a little triggery. That situation got a little explosive. Um, the vision you're going to get is something that you're going to think is impossible, but you're going to see yourself in it. And that's what all you can do. We can see the future if we let that be our future and we work towards that future. And ultimately, I guess, even if you're not working towards it, you're still working towards it because that's what God has planned for you. Really? Mm-hmm. How far down the future will he show you? I don't know. This year, I was surprised that he was showing me so much of the year. He was showing me further down the year. I was surprised last year that he gave me a timeline. He said I wouldn't go anywhere until the end for a whole school year. That's pretty true. I didn't go anywhere. It's almost been a year. Really? It's almost been a year that I've been here. So that was pretty intense. But realistically, no. It's usually one step at a time. He doesn't show you the bigger picture. Not usually. He might. He did for me in my first awakening, but I didn't know how to. I mean, I saw too much. He showed me not only what I did here, but how I had done it many times before here and on other planets and stuff like that. He showed me the big picture. And I was like, whoa, really? Yeah, I'm scared of that place. My skin is. I'll never go to that place alone again. Really? No. I've said it a million times, bro. I will never go to that place again alone. Never. What happened to me on that place both times I went there, the prophetic shit that happened to me up there, I'm so scared of that place. Really? God's up there, bro. The spirit of God, bro. It's dangerous. Talk about a revival. Talk about there's a whole spirit of God up there. Really? I mean, I got stories, dude. Scared the shit out of me. Really? I don't know. It happened to me. It was a very serious. It's a sacred site. It's an activation point, and I'm scared of it. There's not many things I'm scared of, but I'm scared of that place, bro. Really? I got lost. I didn't get lost. My spirit took me straight there one day, and I parked there, and I just sat there, and I blacked out for who knows how long in a whole trance, and got all these crazy fucking downloads and shit. Realistically, yup, that's what I'm talking about when it happened. Then I left there. It took me a few days to put it together, and I made a video about it. After I did my first ritual on the top of the stairs in Manitou, which they call the stairway to heaven, I was guided back up there, and that's where I got stuck in the snow, and more shit happened. I'm terrified of that place. Really? I'm so scared of that place. I'm so scared of that place. I'm not really scared of many places. Not graveyards, not nothing, but that place. I'm scared of that place. God's up there, bro. That's scary. You you turned your mind off up there. You're like out of reality up there. It's not even real. Something happens up there. Talk about a black hole. Seriously? You want to go? I'll tell you how to get there. I'm not going up there with you. I'm scared of that place. Really? Yeah. Where is it? Arapaho National Forest. That's all I can tell you. It's hidden in the Arapaho National Forest. Only I know the way. I can't really just give you directions. I just know my heart took me there. It's scary. You better have four-wheel drive too. Yeah, it's probably very snowy right about now. You want to go on a scary adventure to meet God? I'll tell you. Go right there. I swear. I promise you. I promise you, bro. Something ungodly is going to happen to you, but it's very godly. When a witch tells you that, dude, would you do it? If I told you that I was scared to go up there and I'm like not scared of nothing, would you go where I was scared of to go? Do you believe yourself? Would you? What happens if you come back like Moses and you're blind and shit and God gave you, you know what I mean? He gives you the new tablets and makes you a whole weirdo like me. Aren't you scared of that happening? It's where it happened. Really? I mean, it's one of the many places he took me to make weird shit happen. Going back to the treasure, life is the treasure, bro. We're constantly following little clues to our next move, unless you're like not moving in any direction, which I don't know. There was a time where all I wanted was to live a normal life and not, have a normal job and just stay normal and 9 to 5 and everything stays the same and nothing ever changes. I craved something like that because I grew up in chaos. So I wanted stability. I wanted predictability. I wanted structure. I wanted the very thing I never had. But you want to know something? For someone like me, it becomes unbelievably unbearable. Because we weren't raised in that environment, we can only tolerate it for so long. And that goes back to being raised in a dry state. And if you put me in fucking humidity, I'm going to lose my mind after a while. Really, I don't do so well in humidity. It's just it. You'll know the difference when you come over here and your skin is all dry. You know, your shirt isn't stuck to your back. Realistically, I mean, how can I describe it, you Southerners? Have you been to Las Vegas? It's a very different heat. I can deal with that. I can't deal with your sweaty lip shit. I don't like how the back of my knees gets sweaty. I don't like any of that sweating shit. No, no, and that's what that means. Really? Yeah. Um, what's the downside to Treasure Island? I don't know. Davy Jones' locker. Where do we start with? Evangelism, Jesus, faith. We're all just talking about faith. Manifestation just comes from faith, not in your belief, but a belief in the vision that's given to you. Stop chasing other people's dreams and wait for yours to be revealed to you. And only when you're ready to accept that calling will you even be called to service. You don't meet the requirements yet. And that's why, it says in a lot of our books is a lot of us we don't awaken until our later years, 30s, 40s, 50s, and stuff like that. Why? Because we needed so much life experience to apply to this. Really? Yeah. And it's just kind of unfair to take away a child's life and make them a servant of God. Let them have some life, don't you think? I feel like I want to start a huge teaching about free will because where is our free will? Where's this so-called thing? Do you have free will? You look at everybody, it's like they can't leave. So how are they free to do whatever they will? That's not true. Russ can't do whatever he wants. He's got to answer to people. Marshall can't do whatever he wants. Kanye can't do whatever he wants. Lewis can't do whatever he wants. I can't do whatever I want. We all have how do we have the ability to live freely when we're not because we're bound by chains of circumstance or people around us. You could look at Bobby. He can't do what he wants. He's married. He has to answer to that. You know what I mean? Like Lewis can't do what he wants. He's got Formula One. He has to answer to that. Everybody has to answer. I can't do what I want. I got to do what God says. We, who's better to answer to? Who is your God? I suppose is the question behind that. Who do you make your decisions based upon? Who do you sacrifice your freedoms for? Because you're free to do as you please, to come and go as you please until you make a commitment to someone, right? So, in essence, you're sacrificing your freedoms for this person. What's the return on this bullshit? Really? Yeah. So by giving God my freedom to choose to do whatever I please, I get the freedom to be happy in doing whatever he chooses. Really? I mean, it doesn't bring me there is nothing he asked me to do is like hurtful. I go through a lot of anguish trying to get to the project or through the project, but it's not like he gives me painful projects to do. If anything, I put myself through painful things. Realistically, he's not asking me to do anything that's hard or sacrificing. Like if he asked me not to go somewhere, like today, he told me not to go to the appointment. Okay, that wasn't a bad thing. He was protecting me from something. So, in the sacrifice of that, it's like your free will. You can't do as you please. But why? Who have you given your willpower to? Mine's to God. But everybody's given it to someone, whether it's their spouse, their parents, their job, their somebody. You're living by somebody else's rule over your life. They rule your life. You can't make decisions without coming to them first, or at least considering them in every single decision you ever make. So, how are you free when you live by other people's terms? That's what I'm saying is I want to start this because where is the real freedom, the free will that we supposedly have? where we can do is, that goes back to those limitations. What's limiting us from just up and leaving and doing whatever we want? Is it a person, a place, or a thing? Or is it really just your own fears inside of you that won't let you do these things? What stops you from, you know, leaving America and, moving to South America or Central America or Asia or Africa? What stops you? Is it money? That didn't stop them from moving to our country. What is it? What stops you from this new life? Is it a person? Is it a place? Or is it a thing that stops you from this adventure? Realistically, I mean, you probably don't want to go to another country without any money, but I'm sure many people do. What about the people that get robbed or that lose their wallets or any of that? It's not like it's never happened. Things happen. Do they die when they get there because they lost all their money when they got there? I'm sure there's things to be figured out realistically. And I don't know how all that works, but I'm just trying to show you is free will, I think, is fabricated. I think there was a time when God allowed us to do whatever we pleased, but I think that time has long passed. I don't think people are doing pleasurable things in any kind of way, shape, or form. I think that everything they do is out of force, fear, or desperation. Really? Hmm. Did he really give Adam and Eve free will when he gave them rules? Do as you please, just don't eat that. And then if you broke one rule and you were casted out, was that the truth? Nope. Mm-mm. Realistically, no. The apple of knowledge and wisdom was that of the gods, meaning they were no longer innocent, but had wisdom beyond their knowing, right? And they tried to apply that in the world they did not know. And they tried to create their own world with this wisdom, this knowing. Really? Yeah. So then God washes them all away and teaches them a new way and is like, you don't know shit. I'm going to teach you how to live. And he keeps trying to do this is teach them how to live. Teach us, them, us, they. He's always trying to teach us how to live. So in essence, where's the free will in that? If you just keep trying to make us live your way. What's the problem with living his way? Nothing. It's the right way. It makes it easier, which is ultimately him taking care of us and us just being obedient to his way of life because there was nothing wrong with his way. It's that we want to do it our way, right? So you're allowed to do that in essence. You're allowed to have free will and do as you please, but it's not pleasing. It doesn't bring you happiness or joy. So executing so-called free will is not freeing, it's condemning. We do it our way until we realize that our way doesn't work. And then we give in to a higher source or somebody else's other way. Isn't that the truth, though? Hmm. Something to think about. All right. Well, I don't know. Again, this went up and down and left and right, and we're in an energetic storm. And that's why I was like, I could read any book at this point. We could catch any energy at this point. You want to consort with spirits? You want to do some black magic? Like, we're all in the fucking dark. We're everywhere right now. Really? Yeah. But again, the light's outside. It's just it's a little dark inside. Why? Because I'm dealing with the darkness inside. Don't you hear me? I can't believe God did that to me again. I can believe it. God is just, he thinks this shit is funny. I don't think it's funny, dude. I think it's fucking embarrassing. Me and my pathetic, oh, whatever. But again, you look at the bigger picture. What did you get out of this? Growth. Realistically, yeah, I grew up a little bit more, just a little bit more from this experience. I did. I was able to, use this experience to heal myself and come closer to God. Well, that was great. Realistically, yeah, it's just annoying. Why do I keep doing that to myself? If I didn't want to talk, it's like I come out here and don't want to talk to any guy, and then the only guys I talk to are guys with girls. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. Or gay guys, or guys that are afraid of women. Realistically, yeah, completely unavailable. Emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically. I mean, you name it, bro. Put him in jail. Same thing. Make me fall in love with a man in jail. That's about just as good at this point. Right along the alley of, this strikeout that we got going on here. Really? I mean, seriously, don't you think that's pretty pathetic? I did. I was like, oh god, not again. I'm just gonna die. Realistically, I mean, if I was up for a challenge, I'd go ahead and try to take you from your girl, but I never am up for that challenge. I'm not desperate for anybody's love. No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Doesn't mean something else isn't around the corner. And that's what it is. All I had to do was open myself up to being um, willing. Just because it doesn't work out doesn't mean that it's not. It showed the universe I was willing, and that just pushes more shit at me. Realistically, yeah, didn't come in the comfortable form I would have preferred. Doesn't mean it's not coming. Really? It's gonna make a dirty joke right there. Hey, with that being said, I don't know, guys. Let's read the comments and move on with my life. What did we talk about? Christianity, evangelism, faith, treasure hunting, losing your life, and starting a new one. Got all that? Yeah, put that in the fucking post. What do we got here? Hi. Oh, there's a cool ass. What is that symbol? There's some symbols and stuff in there. I don't know. Well, tomorrow's Thirsty Thursday in the Jupiter energy. That aligns with that treasure island. All things are good and stuff like that. If it's not good for you, then you're just going through the dark night of the soul. It's not bad. You're just going through challenges. Challenges never feel good. It doesn't feel good to. I'm seeing what is that damn guy's name? That swimmer guy? I can't remember his name. He's an Olympic swimmer. It's like it doesn't feel good while he's pushing his muscles to the absolute extreme and trying to win. It only feels good after he wins. And it doesn't feel good for everyone else that doesn't win. But each year they try harder. Can you imagine being in the Olympics? That would annoy the shit out of me. You have to have a good. Imagine there's only 3 of them that win. And yet they're going to come back. They have to wait 4 years for this opportunity with every intention they're going to win. And then they don't. They can't give up on themselves. They have to go train harder for 4 more years and hope that they can come back next time and win. Oh, man. It's a lot of mental agility not to give up in this course of 8 years. That's just 2 times. How many times do you go to the Olympics before you realize you're not going to win? Or do you go just to go? Shaun White. That's not who I was thinking about. Fucking Lewis and your fantabulous fucking friends. Your gold winning friends. Do you have to be like the most gold winning? He's golden. He's a whole chocolate bar, isn't he, though? Wrapped in gold. You're like an Easter egg. Oh, I love you, Lewis. Get a job, bro. Get a fucking vision. Get a fucking creative vision in your life, for God's sakes. I know he's given you a couple. Jeez. You just want to ride around in a fucking Ferrari. You're such a fucking 40-year-old man. Realistically, I mean, we see more Corvettes than Ferraris. Can you explain why that is, Lewis Hamilton? Is it has to do something about Colorado? Like, because we see all those damn Tesla trucks, those fucking cyber trucks. Why is there so many Corvettes? Is a Corvette an American brand? And if not, as soon as I said that, I probably offended someone. Maybe that's why we have so many more Corvettes. Somebody do some research on it. Whatever the case may be, there's not a bunch of Ferrari guys running around here. And if there are, they're always over the age of 45. So you're a little young to be playing that guy, Russell. That's right. He turned it in for a Bronco. Do you have some Colorado envy? I know, because, you can't cut it as a white rapper in Atlanta. You'd fit right in right here, bro. We love our white rappers. We're just all like that. Do you like Take 9? He kind of lives here. Seriously? In essence, like, who runs your streets? I mean, if we're talking about regulars, I would have to say Tech 9. He's here pretty regular. You might have to talk to him. Really? I mean, he sells out every show that he comes, and he's here like every 6 weeks. So I'm not saying that he runs us, but it's the only thing I see running since the beginning. They all stop by. Ed Sheeran will be here again next year. You want to open for him and his 80,000 people? Really? Maybe you can send a flyer and you can be an opener on our field. I always have time to pick jokes at Russ. Oh, Russ. I can't wait for you to pop back up on the internet and make this all fun again. It's not like you're not going to pop back up in a whole pirate suit trying to come out here and get the booty. Not mine. can't, can't wait to hear your next great song about all the wonderful things you do for your family and your girlfriend. It's going to be fabulous. All your new purchases and over the Christmas and all your new projects. It's right up there with Ali's new love song. How he'll never give up. You guys kill me, bro. Every time I think that I can't take my life, I just got to look at yours. That's the last thing I said to Bobby. Every time I feel sad, feel fucking sad about my life, all I got to do is look at a picture of your wife. That's probably why he blocked me. I send that picture to him more than he has on his phone. I send pictures of his wife to him more than he sees her. What do you do that for? To just make it all go away. I think it'll work. Realistically, I mean, he's it's not going to work. He's not tired of looking at her. He's probably just mad that I got that picture. I'm all in my lap. Hey, it brings me peace at night. Realistically, every time I think of, damn, it didn't work with me and Bobby, I can pull up that picture and say, okay, I see why. I'm okay. Anytime oh, dude, I never have to wonder why it didn't work with me and Russ. But I do love his fake attempts to show his girlfriend love. They're very cringy in all of them. They look very friends with benefits in all their pictures. If they actually had a kiss or something, that would be funny. I think about that sometimes. You guys are the fakest. You're like a cringe girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm timid. I'm tempting him, and I go ahead, take a picture of her on your lap or wherever else you want to put the bitch. I don't care. It gives me peace at night to know that I'm not sitting there dealing with your bullshit. Who do you curl up with? Usually Pac. I'll say goodnight to Pac. That's about it. I don't know. Just me. I don't need someone. I don't need your breath in my face or your dick in my butt. Realistically. I've thought about this a couple times. Relationship goals. This is a goal? What? How is? I can't think about this too hard. I'm never gonna be in a relationship. I'm gonna end up like Marshall. That's pathetic. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Good luck with all of that. It's just an energetic storm. I don't know what to tell you. I can't lock onto one. It's just we're getting shit on. We're getting rained on. Really? I mean, call it. Maybe there is a. I don't know what it is, but it's all over the place. Get it off me. Really, put your masks on when you go outside. Not true, but I mean, there's a lot of energy going on, and I don't know how it's gonna hit you. Knocked me down a couple times today. Yeah. Good luck with all that. Laters, haters.